So the question is, what happens when we change a physical server to a virtual server? We all know that a physical architecture, as you will see here, we have the hardware inside that server, and with the 64 architecture, of course, we need to use 64 architecture so we can go from physical to virtual architecture, and we install the operation system and we create the application that we need. When we change that physical architecture to a virtual architecture, what happened there? It's very simple. The software that we use, or the hypervisor, take the hardware that you have in your physical host and change it to a virtual hardware and give it to each virtual machine. As you will see here, we create virtual machine with one CPU, with RAM, network adapter, and hard driver, and etc. We create as much as we can of the virtual machine with virtual hardware that is a part of the original hardware. So this is the virtual architecture. This is what happens when you change your physical server to a virtual architecture. One of the benefits of using virtualization is the CPU virtualization. In a normal architecture, you have 4 CPU, you create your operating system and your application, you use the 4 CPU for your application, even if your application needs only 1 CPU. But in the virtual architecture, we have the ability to create a virtual machine with only 1 CPU, or another virtual machine with 2 CPU, and another virtual machine with 4 CPU, etc. We can create more virtual machine with different CPU number, but of course in a limit of your original number of CPU. If you have 4 physical CPU, you can't create a machine with more than 4 CPU. And this is another benefit that we can get it from the virtualization. For example, some tools can't run in a host with more than 1 CPU. So the VMware let us to create virtual machine with 1 CPU. Another benefit that we can get from virtualization is the network adapter. In the normal architecture, we have one network internet connection connected directly to the application. But here, when we create some virtual machine, each machine, we can create a network adapter to each of those machines. And the beautiful thing, or the benefit thing that we get, is that we have connection between those virtual machines without needing to have another hardware like the switch. As you will see here, the hypervisor creates a virtual switch and let those virtual machines connect to each other through the virtual switch and virtual network adapter and virtual cable. Then when we want to connect to an external host, we need to use the physical network adapter that we have. There are a lot of benefits of using virtualization, and this is the most important thing. And through the course, we're going to see more benefits of using virtualization, and especially by using the VMware software.